guys, welcome back. Got a new little buddy here in my video. I call him Patches because he's got little patches on the side. Anyway, I'm going to be reviewing the new Deadwardians. This is a graphic novel written by Abnett and illustrated by I.N.J. Culbard. And it's a pretty thin one here. I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis for you. A murder that should not be. Chief Inspector George Suttle of Scotland Yard is a lonely detective who's got the slowest beat in London, investigating murders in a world where most everyone is already dead. Welcome to post-Victorian England, where those of the upper classes have voluntarily become vampires, also known as the young in proper British understatement, to escape the lower classes, legions of whom have been turned into ravenous zombies by the so-called restless curse. But when the body of a young aristocrat washes up on the banks of the Thames, Suttle's quest for the truth will take him from the darkest sewers teeming with restless to the gleaming halls of young power and reveal the rotten heart at the center of this strange world. So the terminology they used was a little difficult for me to get used to. Like I said, anybody who's taken the cure and become a vampire, they refer to as the young, the capital Y. The vampire or the zombies are the ravenous or the restless. And those that haven't taken the cure or been turned into zombies are called the brights. And I'm like, why? Where do they come up with these terms, brights? I don't understand what does bright signify? That there's still light shining from within them? I didn't get it. So the book follows not only this murder investigation, but Chief Inspector George Suttle. He's sort of, now that he's taken this cure, so to speak, he has lost his appetite for life. He feels like he's just going through the motions, and there's nothing motivating him to kind of continue living in this undead state. I know this sounds really bizarre, but that is sort of like a major focus within the storyline. I thought it was an interesting concept in terms of the deceased, the victim. It's this murder where it happens to be someone who has taken the cure. He's become a vampire. And they find the body, and the teeth have been filed down, a hand has been cut off, but there's no physical signs of how the victim was killed. To kill a vampire, you'd have to either burn them, decapitate them, or stab them through the heart, and none of these are in evidence. So that really complicates the matter, and he searches, to try and find the killer. During his search, it takes him to a brothel where he interviews some of the women there. In terms of regards to the artwork within this book, there seem to be unnecessary amounts of nudity. Besides the victim full frontal nudity within the brothel, they're nude from the top, or from the waist up. Later on, you see the chief inspector with one of the prostitutes from the brothel, also full frontal nudity. I'm like, was it just thrown in there just to put it in there? I mean, I didn't get it. I didn't see the necessity of it, and that kind of bothered me. With the rest of the artwork, it was just sort of okay, kind of, I'm going to show you that one, kind of bland at times. The color scheme is just sort of this earthen tone to it. Not a whole lot of expression on some of the faces, but it's a lot of like that kind of thing. So I wasn't too overly thrilled with the artwork. I also wasn't too thrilled with the dialogue within this book. And sometimes it was quite kind of cheesy. There's one moment where he is interviewing the family of the victim, and it's kind of an upper class society because of course he was a vampire, and he's interviewing one of the women here, and she's like dropping F-bombs, and I'm like, seriously? I don't think that's the language that a proper British woman would use in Victorian times. So again, that also bothered me. Overall, I mean, there's an interesting twist kind of at the end that kind of redeems the story, but for the most part, I was not thrilled with this. I was actually rather disappointed. It had such good potential. The whole concept of, vampires versus zombies and becoming vampires just to prevent yourself from becoming zombies. It was an interesting twist in the whole murder aspect of it, but again, it wasn't enough to hold my interest, even with the ending of it. So overall, I just gave this one star. I think I would probably just give it a miss overall, but yeah, that's my review. Thanks for watching, and happy reading.